Hello everyone. So today we are going to implement how to attack enemies in this strategy game. So here, if I right click on an enemy, if I select my characters and then right click on an enemy, the characters will go to that character and start attacking. So let me duplicate this enemy and have two characters. So first one should attack here, next guy should attack over here. So at the moment the enemies are not responding to attacks by attacking again. They just get the attacks and die, but the reaction part will also be added in future. For now I want to make the attacks work. So yeah, let's see how to do this part today. Okay, so we already have this moment set up with replication enabled. So you can see 3 instances of the game for 3 players and they are replicated. That's why you can see these characters are coming. The next step is to implement attacks. So at the moment I don't have a way to attack enemies, only move. I have this knife appear when I have select one of my characters, and if I hover over an enemy character, this red character, the knife appears. But that's as far as the attacks go. That's all I have at the moment. So first I have already retargeted these animations to implement attacks. So I'm going to use them and implement a simple attacking system. So for now I'm going to forget about the replication part and get the attacks working. So therefore I'll set this number of players to 1 and set the game to play in the editor viewport like this, and I'll put one of these red characters closer to these blue characters so I can start attacking one of them. So alright, so first to implement this system, get started with attacks, let me open the top-down character blueprint. So here I have this BPI character movement and BPI selectable interfaces. I think I would need another interface. To handle attacks. So blueprint interface BPI. So rather than calling it attacks, I'll call something like actions, because I'm gonna need to have other types of actions also rather than just attacks. Right, so here we have this new function already. I'll name it as attack, or shall I say attack character, and here as an input I'll give target. These should be in the type of actor object reference. Right, now here I will implement that interface BPI action, BPI actions, and now on the interface I have attack actor. Let me add a comment as attack so that I can zoom out. I can easily notice where the attack interface is. So now to control the attack behavior, that means first we have to move the character to the target and then do the attacks. And when we have other actions also in place, it would be best if I implement this behavior through a behavior tree. But to keep things simple, and since I don't want to complicate this with other actions at the moment, I only want to prototype this attack behavior. So I'll just implement it with blueprints, and then later on when we have other actions, let's switch to a behavior tree. Alright, so as I said, first we need to move the character to the target. So move to AI move to as the target. Let me promote this to a variable. Call it target actor. And that should be the target actor, of course, and the pawn is self. And here I'll have an acceptance radius of 50. So when our character go to the target actor, when we are within a range of 50 units, it will consider this movement as a success. That's the idea of acceptance distance. Right, now on success, we have to perform the attack. That means we can just play an montage, and here I want to play this punch montage that we retargeted yesterday, not yesterday, in the previous episode. First punch. Right, now I'm not sure if I added the ability to play montages. Oh yeah, we have that here. Okay, so we can play animation montages without any issue. Right, now cross punch. So I need to, just for testing, I'll make it play continuously. Let's have a delay of 2 seconds. This is not incomplete, this is actually wrong, but I just want to see if this sequence completes, and then after that implement the rest. And yeah, actually I should have called it on success punching animations. Right, okay, now how do we call this attack actor? So that has to be done from the player controller. Because we control the characters through mouse clicks, and when we right click here, we just call move to, that is just to move the character. But if we to attack a character, first we need to check if the mouse is hovering over an enemy. Then if that is the case, we should ask the character to attack rather than just move it. And let me select this all and collapse, because here we need to check if we are hovering over an enemy, we need to attack, otherwise it's just a move. So collapse node and characters. Okay, now How do we know if we are hovering over an enemy? Well, we have on this, when the mouse hover over a character, if it is an enemy, we call this on hover with enemy true. But this is only suitable for a single player game, because in a multiplayer game, some player is controlling this character and another player is controlling this blue character. So therefore, this variable based enemy defining an enemy character based on a variable is not enough. So we would need something like a team, but we will take care of that later. First, let's just go with what we have already. So now here we are calling this onHover function on BPI player controller. So that means this BP top down controller. So onHover here. So here I'll go to the definition of this onHover blueprint interface function, and here I'll add another input, hover. This should be the type of fact object reference, and we need the same thing for clear hover. We would need the same thing for clear hover as well, or maybe not yet for the moment. Right now here, wait, compile this. Now we have this option, so I'll pass a reference to self, that means this character, as the hovered actor. Now here we have hovered actor. I'll promote it to a variable hovered actor. Oh, now we do have a hovered actor, and if this hovered actor, when we clear hover, we need to again set hovered actor to none. Okay, now I think we would need a function to check if this hovered actor is an enemy or not. We could just promote this enemy variable also to a variable in the player controller and check with that as well, but I think it would be best if I have a function in the character itself. Right, I'll add another action here, another function here is and yeah, as I said before, we're gonna need some team based identification for actors to define who are allies, who are enemies. So team, we can give our team, and no, let's just leave that part for now and return a boolean, just says enemy or not. If this is true, that's an enemy. So here for now is enemy. I'll just return the value of this variable. This will work for single player. And then in the top down controller, where I collapsed commands, I'll check if I have a hovered actor, a valid hovered actor. If it is not valid, we can simply skip. If it is valid, however, we have to check if it is an enemy. If yes, on selected actors, we need to call attack. So how should we do it? Well, let me get the selected actors. And run a for each loop, and then attack actor, and as the target I'm going to give this hovered actor. Alright, so now let's see if that works. So let me select these two and right click, move in there and attack it. This guy can't attack and he keeps trying to move because he can't reach this actor. Okay, but if I make it, move it to a place like this, both should be able to move closer. Okay, now they are attacking, but no reaction so far. That's fine, we haven't implemented that part yet. So now the character also needs to die. So on the character action, I'll add another function. And as an input, I'll give a reference to the attacker. The object reference attacker. Also damage amount. We need to give a damage amount too. Now, in order to have damage and die, the character need to have some health value. Before that, let's just play the reaction. Damage. Here I'll just play. Since this is, if it is confusing for you, I am using the same character to implement damage as well, because both enemy and player are same type of character blueprint. So that's why I am using the same blueprint in case you wonder. Mesh, play montage. And alright, so we need to have a montage for the head hit. Okay, now we need to call this damage event from the attacker, but when should the animation be played? Somewhere here. So 0.99, that means after 1 second. Okay, so that means here we can have a delay of maybe not 1 second, something like 8 seconds, 0.8 seconds, and then on the target actor or damage. Damage amount 20, assuming there will be 100 health points, so we will need to punch 5 times to kill. So since I have integer seconds here, I will reduce this to 1.2. Right, now there should be a reaction as well. Oh, sorry. Damage. I should call damage not on self. I should call damage on target actor as a message through VPI actions. And attacker is self. Okay. Now they do attack. Now to kill the enemy. So for the character, I'll add a health variable, and it should be a float. Oh well, integer also fine, but I have a float here. So I'll use float, and for each attack I'll reduce for health with the damage amount and set. So then if this is less than 1, that means 0 over a minus value, the character should die. So we can get the mesh and set simulate physics to true. So this will enable ragdoll mode and character will fall down. But when we enable ragdoll mode, we have to make sure that the character mesh collision preset is ragdoll. Otherwise it will flow through the floor. It will fall through floor. So let's test this. But still, even after the character is dead, the attackers will keep punching. See? Because they don't know the enemy is dead or not. So now we need another function to check if the character is dead. But I'm not sure if I should put that inside BPI action, because checking if the character is dead is not an action. So let's have another general interface. BPI character info. So the reason I keep creating multiple interfaces rather than putting all the function into a single one is because we need to keep things segregated, and we should only keep related functions in a single interface. If we put everything into one interface, then it would be convoluted, and in case I need to have a separate blueprint who should have actions but not character information, because that could be something else other than a character. So having those functions that are only specific for a character in another blueprint wouldn't make sense. It's actually a principle in software development called interface segregation. Not interface, Lisco segregations in solid principles of software development. Okay, so here I name this is dead. Don't really need any question mark. We need a dead boolean. So here I'll add PPI character info, and now it's dead. I should simply return the result of the check if this is less than 1. If this is true, that means character is dead, otherwise not dead. Now here, before we try to attack again, we should check if the target is dead. If it is not dead, we should continue to attack, otherwise we should stop attacking. So now they should stop attacking once the character is dead. Oh, wait. Okay, now the character is dead and they stopped attacking. Alright, so it took half an hour, almost half an hour. So still this is not complete. There are a lot of things to do. We need to look into like what happens if I want to change the command to attack, and instead of attacking, if I need to move selected characters to somewhere else, how to cancel the attack. So we have to think those details, and also about replication. But for now, I'm going to stop this episode right here. We will look into other stuff that I just explained in upcoming episodes. So thanks for watching. Updated project files will be available here in Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon Club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.